Hello. All right, I'm going to show you how I learned to meditate. Bearing in mind, when I first started, I was constantly just distracted by the pain of trying to sit still. And I was super fidgety, very just distracted constantly. And I didn't understand how everyone around me was just sitting so still and peacefully. And um, so a few things that helped. One was actually finding a comfortable seat. So I used to sit in a really slouched position, and it just put a lot of pressure on my lower back, my spine, and it would just ache and ache. So obviously yoga in general has helped strengthen and correct my posture, but also just sitting up on the edge of a cushion really, really helped because my hips are then higher than my knees. It stopped my legs from going dead, like tingling, numbness, and it also helped me find that tilt of my pelvis, which to make it tilt forwards a little bit, and then it meant my lumbar curve, my lumbar spine is in its neutral curve rather than flexing and rounding. So sitting up on the edge of something really helps, whether it's a sofa cushion or a pillow, folded pillow, or a block. Yeah, just try to find something that works for you. And maybe you're sitting up against the wall for support or in a chair. Just try and find shoulder over hips, ears over shoulders, and then your skeleton is supporting your whole heavy head. It's like 10 pounds, it's crazy. So that really helped finding a comfy position, and maybe even padding, with a blanket, between all these bony bits of our ankles if you're cross-legged, and that maybe this foot doesn't feel comfortable here. Maybe your ankles cross, or your shins, maybe your knees are out here. And if they're up like this, and you've got tightness in other parts of your body, then you can always pad with things like yoga blocks or other cushions, just finding whatever height works for you to kind of support your legs. Um, that can really help. So that's number one. And then secondly, it was the acknowledgement that it's not about silencing your whole mind. Like, we're never going to remove all of our thoughts, right? It's always whirring. The mind's always working. That's what it does. We have this imagination. So it's the idea of just noticing when we've become lost in thought and bringing the attention back to the breath over and over again. So what helped me do that was, well, first it was acknowledging it wasn't having this empty mind, and second, it was identifying what it's like to breathe. First of all, like, where do I put my attention if it's not on these thoughts? So tapping into where I felt the breath the most helped. So whether that's in your belly or your chest, as you're breathing, like feeling where you feel the breath, if that makes sense. So the oxygen flowing, or even I know that oxygen isn't actually in our belly, but it's our diaphragm moving up and down. But the sensation of breathing, some people, they feel their chest rising and falling, others feel their belly moving up and down. You might feel the flow of air through your nostrils in and out, or a little tickle on your top lip. So honing into that helped, and then having that as like an anchor to put my attention back onto each and every time I noticed, oh, I've just realized I've been thinking for X amount of time about what I have to do today, or that memory from 5 years ago, or whatever randomly pops up. So bringing the attention back when you realize that, without judging yourself in a negative way, right? Like, oh God, I've been thinking again. It That's just normal. You might do it 100 times in one sitting, in one meditation, and that's actually great, because it means the more you do it, the more you're actually attuning to noticing, right? Noticing the state of our own mind. So, I'm thinking, okay, with love, with kindness, coming back to the breath. And then when you notice again, oh, I was distracted by that sound, or I'm thinking about that traffic or the bird, or whatever you've heard, or annoyed because someone's, making a big bang noise in the kitchen, or I don't know, whatever it is, noticing thoughts, judgments, anything that comes up, and then just bringing your attention back to your breath, back to the breathing in the body. So those things really help me. So let's maybe try a few minutes together at doing this. And it's a practice, right? So if you spend the whole time not thinking about the breath, it doesn't matter. It's a practice. It gets stronger and stronger, just like the workout in the gym, the muscles grow bigger, like the muscle of this will develop. So and the nice thing is as well is you don't have to be, perfectly seated to do it. You can do this anywhere. I now find it's comfortable. I didn't used to, but you might be doing the washing up and then you start noticing your breath, or where your tension is in your body, and you suddenly start realizing, oh, I've been standing like this. Oh, and having that attunement to your own body, that connection to know what's going on at different times of the day. You might be on the bus, you might be in a queue, and you can practice this anywhere. So it's really nice. Or when you're trying to get to sleep at night as well, and your mind is often even busier then, or we're more aware of it. So using the technique to calm the mind at that point is really beneficial as well. So, okay, let's spend a few minutes just practicing this. So find whatever seat works for you. And maybe you prefer lying down, that's fine, or sitting up on a chair or sofa, or cross-legged on the floor. Just find somewhere where you are going to be comfortable for a few minutes without any pain or too much movement. It's obviously fine to move. We don't want to add more stress of like, oh, I need to move, but I can't. Just, yeah, do what you need to do. This is your practice. So just allowing the hands to rest wherever allows the shoulders to release as well. So maybe in the lap or in the thighs or knees, palms up, palms down, it doesn't matter. And then just feeling where your shoulders are in space, so you're bringing them above your hips. And instead of the head kind of jutting forward, allowing it to rest on the top of your spine, so your ears are kind of over your shoulders and your chin is sort of parallel with the ground. And allowing your eyes to gently close here if that feels okay for you. And if it feels comfortable breathing in and out the nose, I recommend this. It can be a really nice way of slowing the breath and allowing it to be steady and even. Do what's comfortable for you. And just allow the breath to be completely natural. However it is right now is fine. You don't need to change it or shape it in any way. Just let the air flow in and out. And just simply notice how the breath is in this moment. Maybe it's short or long. Maybe it's deep, shallow. Maybe it feels obstructed or it's flowing evenly. Just notice what's there without any judgment. And see if you can feel where the sensations of breathing are the most obvious to you. And you might like to take a hand to your heart center, your chest area, or another hand to your belly, just to help you feel into the body. Feel those sensations of breathing. Maybe you can feel the rising and falling sensation of your body as a whole. Or maybe you feel this in the chest or belly. Just observing where the breath is, where it's moving the body. And once you've found or tapped into some of these sensations, maybe the hands come back down, or you can leave them where they are. And if you notice the mind has wandered or any thoughts have arisen, or maybe you've become distracted by sounds or feelings, emotions, just see if you can turn the attention back to the breath, following the inhales and exhales, flowing in and out the body, maybe in and out the nostrils. Allowing any thoughts that arise just to fade into the background, just like sounds do, just disappearing. So we're acknowledging any thoughts or emotions that do arise, but instead of paying them too much attention, we're just lovingly, kindly letting them fade and bring our focus back to our breathing, back to those movements in the body or the sensations in the body, maybe pressure or temperature, tingling sensations in different parts of the body. And then slowly, maybe deepening the breath. And gently blinking the eyes open. And just taking a minute here to notice how you feel now after that short practice. Seeing how that was for you, whether you found that difficult or relaxing, just noticing any thoughts that come up. And then I hope you can bring this awareness with you for the rest of the day and enjoy whatever you're doing next. Namaste.